How's it going, everybody? And the best is the best of what's the best that ever will be. There'll be none before me, and there'll be none after me. Therefore, I am the one and only Jake Covey, and welcome to Wrestling Made Simple. We got an action-packed week this week with your news of the week, followed by your SmackDown and Raw reviews, and then a review of 2015 Summerslam, the main event of The Beast versus The Undertaker, and then we go into a reading of the Book of Rules, your drink of the week, and the Battle Droid of the week. But let's get into the news right now. It's apparently there was a fight backstage at Raw. Well, this may have been blown out of proportion. Apparently there was an argument between Sami Zayn, KO, and Seth Rollins and the Judgment Day, as they really wanted to. They felt that moves weren't as smooth as they should have been for each other, and they felt that it was a huge problem between the Judgment Day and KO. So that would have been very cool to see the Judgment Day actually have, like, it would have been. I'm trying to figure out the words for this. I don't know if it would have been cool to see them have the all-out situation that AEW had. I don't know if this is real, if this is legit, because the two teams are feuding right now. So, I don't know what to believe. And apparently The Undertaker has some advice for a current superstar, as Bray Wyatt was still out with injury and maybe out past SummerSlam now. The Undertaker has said he should go back to his original gimmick of the Eater of Worlds. That would be kind of cool. I wouldn't mind seeing it. I liked the way they had it for Bray Wyatt. But at the same time, the way he's going right now, I don't know if he could go back to his old gimmick. I don't know what his future has in store. That's just my opinion. And finally, apparently, you have TNT, Warner Bros. Development is in very deep talks to extend AEW's TV deal with their companies. Warner Bros. TV owns TNT, TBS, since Turner doesn't own them anymore, and since Warner Bros. Basically bought out Turner. So, are we going to see a new AEW? Maybe they will throw in some brand new ways they feel that they should work on AEW. Who knows? But apparently AEW will be extended pending just whatever Warner has to say. So apparently AEW is most likely going to be extended. So good for them. A TV deal is a huge thing. It helped propel Impact into being an amazing company, helped propel New Japan, so helped propel ROH. So maybe we'll see AEW truly reach the next step and be true competition with WWE. Again, I need to wait and see what happens with the Wembley show. If they could sell out that stadium and then come back and maybe sell out, I'm not saying sell out MetLife. I'm not saying sell out Cowboys Stadium. Sell out Soldier Field. If they could sell out Soldier Field, how cool would that be for them? Their own version of WrestleMania in Chicago. It's an idea. But let's get into SmackDown this week. SmackDown kicked off with the tribal court of the tribal chief. The Usos were in the ring and they were talking about how they pinned Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns then came out and said, yeah, I got pinned. What about it? I'm still the tribal chief. I'm still the champion. What's going on here? Jay got lucky. He pinned me. He hit me with a low blow and pinned me. I'm the tribal chief. I'm the one who basically made everything. And then he said he was tired of holding the mantle and he tried to pass it on to Jay. He said, if you want it, take it. I'm done, because I'm done raising your kids, taking care of your families, because I'm the tribal chief. Oh. And then he put the lay on Jay and bow to Jay, basically. Then low blow, Roman Reigns ain't giving up shit. Solo Sikoa attacks Jimmy. Jimmy gets laid out and actually brought into an ambulance. So that was awesome. This was an amazing segment. People are raving about this shit. You know, I can easily... The Bloodline's the best storyline that's been going on in wrestling for a while. For a while. They had The Fiend for a little while, but this has surpassed The Fiend, man. This is just genius. I wish I could think of something like this. I wish I could. Oh, we then move on to a championship match of Austin Theory versus Sheamus. This was a good match. Austin Theory showing he's really worked on his in-ring skills since coming back from NXT. He's really proven himself as a United States champion and has really helped move that title into a main event slot. I saw somebody post on Twitter, is Drew McIntyre above... He believes Drew McIntyre is above the Intercontinental Championship. And I completely disagree. I don't think anyone's above a title. Tag team, undisputed WWE Championship. No one's above the Intercontinental Championship. No one's above the United States Championship. No one's above these. A title is a title. And it's something that you work hard for every year. That's why I was pissed when Naomi and Sasha Banks walked out. Apparently they weren't getting treated well backstage. And apparently they felt the division wasn't good enough. That I can kind of understand. I don't get the division because I felt the division was cool. But if they felt that it was a disrespect to have those titles on them, then to me, I don't know who the hell you think you are. Because a title is a title. It's an unbelievable thing that when you get it, you have reached the mountaintop of this business. No matter, it could be a styrofoam championship belt that they would hand me if I were to somehow find a way, one, to wrestle, and two, win a championship title. I would treasure that for the rest of my fucking life. Somehow, some way, I reached the mountaintop and I'm good enough to say I'm a champion. Whether it's a tag team, hell, whether it's a 24/7 title, I don't care. A championship is a championship. And you've worked hard, and your recognition for your work in this industry has been met. Yeah, you might not be the world champion. That championship might seem far off to you. Nothing is a stepping stone anymore. The women's tag team titles got elevated by Ronda Rousey and Shayna Baszler, in my opinion. I don't like Ronda Rousey. Don't. But I feel they did help bring legitimacy to the women's tag team division. The United States Championship has been amazing with Austin Theory, where I'm going into this rant for. I apologize. The Intercontinental Championship, Gunther has been unbelievable in the Intercontinental Championship, and the United States Championship have been held by Hall of Famer after Hall of Famer after Hall of Famers. So no one's above these titles. And Austin Theory helping raising the stakes with matches like this just proves it. Austin Theory would retain after Pretty Deadly would interfere. That's not what I'm focusing on. I'm focusing on the match itself, which was a very, very, very good match. Anyway, we then have Edge return on the Grayson Waller effect. Edge revealed he is not to give retirement. And this is kind of where my Bowdroy of the Week will come into effect. Apparently, I believe it was PW Insider, and I know the next few stories were PW Insider. PW Insider reported that Grayson Waller was working with a broken leg. It was either that or Fightful, and I think Fightful got the story from PW Insider. This was made completely untrue, and the Edge story of Edge retiring completely untrue, as Edge revealed he is not retiring. He is going to stay fighting until he's a World Heavyweight Champion, and he challenged Grayson Waller to a match. We would then get that match later on in the night. After this, we get Austin Theory. We get AJ. AJ Styles versus Karrion Kross. Great match. Yeah, who the fuck am I kidding? This match sucked. This was a 2-minute match that should have been a 30-minute classic. AJ Styles should have done the job and taken the pin from Karrion Kross. Karrion Kross needs to find a way to start moving up the card. If not, I won't be shocked if we're reading about his release again. Because his main roster run, both times, has been terrible. Just fucking terrible. AJ Styles would pick up the win. And that was basically all I want to say about this match. We then get Women's Champion Asuka coming in to the ring and said nobody was ready for her, of course. And then Bianca Belair came running out, brawled with Asuka. Charlotte brawled with Asuka and Bianca Belair. As Charlotte and Bianca Belair moved to outside the ring, Io Sky then attacked Asuka and tried to cash in. But the other wrestlers interfered. You had Charlotte and Bianca stopping that, which sucks. I would love to. I'd love to see. This should be a match at SummerSlam. Fatal 4-way. Asuka, Io Sky, who is now the champion after cashing in, versus Bianca Belair versus Charlotte Flair in a Fatal 4-way elimination match. There's your SummerSlam Women's Championship match. We then get Edge having his match with Grayson Waller. This was an awesome match. Grayson was doing everything. Edge was doing all he could to keep up with Grayson Waller and finally hitting the spear to get his win back in Madison Square Garden that he lost to Seth Rollins the last time SmackDown was there and the last time he competed in Madison Square Garden. So, by the way, I also wanted to point out in his rant they had on the Grayson Waller effect, Edge mentioned Sable. So that was a cool one. Edge, apparently people were mad at him for this, but it's the fucking Radar Superstar. Let him say whatever the fuck he wants to say. God damn it. After the win, Edge, who had been saying all night that Grayson was thrown into the water with the sharks and he has yet to swim, Edge would pick up a mic and say, "Grayson, you swam." That was awesome. Roman Reigns and Solo Sikoa then come to the ring, and Roman then announces to Madison Square Garden, tells him to acknowledge him. We then get Jey Uso coming through the crowd, ready to attack Roman. He then hit Solo with a steel chair over 10 times? Fuck, I didn't even count that much. Jey then picked up the undisputed WWE Universal Championship and challenged Roman to a match, saying, "One more time, I'm going to fight you and I'm going to beat you for this title." Looks like we know what SummerSlam's going to be. This was a great way to end the show. Jey standing tall. This is a way to get people interested for SummerSlam. I am excited for SummerSlam and what it has to be this year. Just saying that right now. Let's move on to Raw. As Raw kicked off with Seth Rollins coming out to mock the Judgment Day, eating buffalo wings, of course. This was a kind of like throwaway segment. Seth Rollins was supposed to face Dom Mysterio again. This felt like a Vince McMahon show, not a Triple H show. I just want to put that out there. We then get Drew McIntyre and Matt Riddle versus Imperium. Good match. Drew McIntyre and Matt Riddle were able to pick up the win. After the match, Ludwig Kaiser and Gunther both stared down Giovanni Vinci and walked away from him. I don't know what this means, but please don't break up Imperium. Come on, guys. Be smarter than this. We then get Finn Balor and Damian Priest agreeing to a clean slate as long as Finn gets to face Seth Rollins first. The Judgment Day then attacks Seth Rollins, who was coming out for his match against Dominic Mysterio. Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn made the save, and it turned into a 6-man tag team match for later on in the night. We then get Ricochet and Logan Paul coming to the ring for a promo. Logan Paul and Ricochet would have a bit of a brawl. Logan would get sucker punched by Ricochet, and Logan Paul would say, "Nice job, kid, but that's just for TikTok. It ain't for you." if they make this match official for SummerSlam, I would love it. We then get Becky Lynch versus Zoe Starks. Now, this is the other PW Insider, and why I'm taking that Judgment Day thing with a grain of salt. The Judgment Day Seth Rollins thing. Because, well, you had Becky Lynch, who was apparently working through a leg injury, was pulled from this night's Raw, according to PW Insider. But here comes Becky Lynch to come out and have her match with Zoe Starks. I wonder what's going on here. That's 3 stories, by the way. 3. I want to point out also, for some reason on commentary, Corey Graves was not right this week. I don't know if he was sick. I don't know what was going on. He was missing a lot of lines. You could tell he was missing his cues. Something was wrong with Corey Graves. I don't know what it was. It just, he didn't seem like himself. Just want to point that out. Zoe Starks was able to pin Becky Lynch after Trish Stratus interfered with allowing Becky Lynch to hit the roll-up. So, Zoe Starks would then roll up Becky Lynch, and we would have the end of that. It was a good match. Nothing too bad about it. I enjoyed it. Zoe Starks getting a good win over Becky Lynch shows her talent, but I wish it was clean. That's the only thing I wish. We then get Chad Gable and Otis holding a graduation ceremony for Maxine Dupri. They would go to put the leather jacket on Maxine, but the Viking Raiders would interfere and Valhalla would steal the jacket. Guess this feud is going on for a few more weeks. Probably a SummerSlam. Yay. We then get Shayna Baszler versus Emma. Quick match. Shayna Baszler would pick up the win very easily. And Shayna Baszler would stand tall, and then Ronda Rousey would come out. And Ronda Rousey would attack Shayna. This is going to be a match at SummerSlam. This is going to be the one to steal the show. This is Ronda's perfect match in WWE. A cage fighter who understands the way Ronda works, who can help pull out a great match from this girl. If this doesn't work, then Ronda should have never came in at all to WWE. I just want to point that out right now. We then get Cody Rhodes cutting a promo on Brock Lesnar. We get the start of, so what do you want to talk about? It was fun. It was cool. Cody Rhodes then challenged Brock to a rubber match at WrestleMania, or at SummerSlam. Since they are one-on-one against each other, this will be the match to determine their end of the feud. Who wins? We then get The Miz versus Tommaso Ciampa in a no DQ match. Hard-fought match by Tommaso Ciampa. Great job. Apparently, Johnny Gargano, according to PW Insider, is also out with injury. I don't know. Fightful has said this isn't the case. They just don't want him back yet. And he still might have a match at SummerSlam with Tommaso Ciampa versus KO and Sami Zayn for the titles. DIY versus KO and Sami Zayn. Maybe they'll save that for, I don't know, Survivor Series? That would be cool. But, very good match. The Miz would pick up the win, ending his over 200 losing, I believe it was 23 to 0-23 streak. So he hasn't won over 200 days. So the Miz would pick up the win after Bronson Reed would interfere and hit the splash or the tsunami on Tommaso Ciampa. Miz would pin him. 1, 2, 3. The Miz picks up the win. Good match. Don't like the finish. Just want to say that right now. I feel like Bronson Reed is above. I shouldn't say above. I think Bronson Reed is better off as a solo act than working with somebody. Like working as a lackey. I like him better as the guy calling the shots. Just my opinion. We then get Chelsea Green and Sonya Deville versus Katana Chance and Kaden Carter. Chelsea Green would pick up the win after having her feet on the ropes, and Sonya Deville basically holding her feet down, so there was no way Katana Chance, Kaden Carter could kick out. And that was very cool, but they then show a vision of the ref's perspective, and the ref could easily see Chelsea Green's feet were on the ropes, could easily see Sonya Deville holding her feet, so That was a stupid move by WWE. We think your main event, the Judgment Day, Finn Balor, Dominic Mysterio, and Mr. Money in the Bank, Damian Priest, versus Seth Rollins, World Heavyweight Champion, and the Undisputed Tag Team Champions, Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. This was a very good match. Finn would hit the coup de grace on Sami after taking Sami down with a drop kick. After he was going for a hula kick, Rhea Ripley would grab his legs and would cause him to mess up, allowing Finn to get the momentum, pinning Sami Zayn. 1, 2, 3. Please God, let it be the Demon versus Seth Rollins at SummerSlam. That would be awesome. And that was Raw. Very good Raw. Very fun. I really enjoyed this. It was a very enjoyable Raw. But again, it felt like a Vince McMahon show, not a Triple H. I just want to point that out one last time. Oh, we then move on to SummerSlam 2015. The Beast versus The Undertaker. We all remember the promo, if you're a wrestling fan. The promo that led up to this match. You're going to have to kill me first. Was The Undertaker's line of Brock Lesnar saying, I'm going to kill you. And The Undertaker says, you're going to have to if you want to beat me this time. The Undertaker had since ended The Undertaker's streak, but we'll get to that later. It starts off with Sheamus and Randy Orton in a great match. Sheamus would pick up the win after Randy Orton would go for an RKO. Randy Orton would want to be WWE Champion again, and he felt that he wanted to beat Seth Rollins for the title of Seth, who kicked him out of the Authority, basically. So, it was a cool idea. I still don't get what this feud was mostly about. Because of that, Sheamus would challenge Orton to a match at SummerSlam. Orton would go for an RKO. Sheamus would hit 2 brogue kicks on Randy Orton to pick up the win. We then get a 4-way tag team title match for the WWE Tag Team Championships of the Primetime Players. Hold on. Los Matadores of Diego and Fernando with El Torito, Lucha Dragons, and The New Day. The New Day would pick up the win in this match. This match is very historic because it would launch the New Day's streak of being the longest reigning tag team title holders until the Usos would break that record. But it was an amazing tag team run for the New Day here. I forget who they would lose it to. I think... No, they wouldn't lose it to the Usos. They would hold on our tag team championships. Oh, they would lose it to Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson, I think. Maybe. But the New Day would go on an amazing tag title run that would last for what seemed forever. We then get Dolph Ziggler versus Rusev, and basically the Lana versus Summer Rae match. Rusev had since broken up with Lana after thinking her and Dolph Ziggler were together. This was a terrible idea because you actually had Rusev and Lana announce their wedding and post pictures online of their wedding. Which was, I think it pissed off WWE management because how are you going to date the guy and okay, he's really dating, she's really married to him. Yeah, so this match was apparently spoiled by that. These two still had an okay match. It would end in a double countout. It was an 11-minute match, and this was a very bad time in Lana and Rusev's careers, I think. Not working with Dolph Ziggler. Dolph Ziggler is an amazing worker. This storyline just sucked. Oh, you want to talk about a shitty storyline? We then get King Barrett and Stardust versus Neville and Stephen Amell. For those of you who don't know Stephen Amell is the Green Arrow. He played the Green Arrow on a CW show called Arrow, and CW was a partner with WWE at the time, and they were trying to do a little cross-promotion. Stardust saying he's the ultimate villain, while Stephen Amell is the ultimate hero, and the villain needs to beat the hero that wouldn't happen, as Stephen Amell, who was in amazing shape, I want to point out, unbelievable, looked chiseled in this fucking match, was actually pretty good. He wasn't great. He wasn't like stars of this level, of like this timeline now of we have Bad Bunny, Logan Paul, shit like that. No, he wasn't that good, but he was pretty damn good. Showed up, had a good match, let Neville do most of the work. Neville hits the Red Arrow on... Neville hits the Red Arrow on King Barrett, picks up the win, and that's the end of this feud for Stardust. So, yeah. Oh, we then get Ryback, who was the Intercontinental Champion at the time, versus The Big Show and The Miz in a triple threat match. Now, Ryback had become the Intercontinental Champion after winning it in the Elimination Chamber in one of the worst Elimination Chamber matches ever. It has been called that by many, and this would show why. If you ever want to watch Ryback in WWE and wonder why he never got the main event push he was wanting, this is why. Ryback would pick up the win. The less talked about this match, the better. Let's move on. We then get Dean Ambrose and Roman Reigns versus Bray Wyatt and Luke Harper. Bray Wyatt would cost Roman Reigns the Money in the Money in the Bank contract. He would have to deal with the Wyatt family and would need help. Well, who else to go to but his former Shield brother, Dean Ambrose. Dean Ambrose would have been feuding with Wyatt since it wasn't Hell in a Cell. He had feud with him after Hell in a Cell. Bray Wyatt had went off to have a match with The Undertaker at WrestleMania, and this kind of reignited their feud. So you would have Roman Reigns have a feud with Bray Wyatt, and you would have Dean Ambrose have to pass with Bray Wyatt, and they all have feuds in the Shield as well with Bray Wyatt. So this was basically beat up Bray Wyatt night. Roman Reigns and Dean Ambrose would each hit their finisher on Bray Wyatt. Dean Ambrose would hit the Dirty Deeds, and Roman Reigns would hit the Spear. It's very funny to look back on it now, because Bray Wyatt is such a main eventer, it's hard to see him lose like this. But now you would never dream of him like doing this shit, you know? You would never dream of him losing like this big at SummerSlam. We then get your winner-take-all match in a 19-minute match of Seth Rollins versus John Cena. Seth Rollins, the WWE Champion. John Cena, the WWE United States Champion. Whoever wins will become the first person to ever hold the WWE Championship and the United States Championship at the same time. Now, it's important to mention that Seth Rollins had been feuding with John Daly at this time. I believe it was John Daly, the host of I forget what show he was. But he was also a huge wrestling fan, and you would have Seth Rollins basically come out and on his show... Jon Stewart. Jon Stewart would basically antagonize Seth Rollins. Seth Rollins would antagonize him. But who's hosting SummerSlam? Jon Stewart. And Seth Rollins and John Cena had a hell of a feud. Seth Rollins had actually broken his nose with his knee. And it would basically lead to this match as the referee was down. By the way, I also want to point out this is the match where Seth Rollins wore his iconic white and yellow gear, which everyone has said was his best gear until he started doing the Messiah gimmicks, or the Monday Night Messiah, where he is now Seth friggin' Rollins. This is when he wore that gear, and everyone wished it would become his real, everyday gear, but we never saw it again. Apparently Vince McMahon hated it, so we never saw it again. But Seth Rollins and John Cena would start having an amazing match. Great job by them. And then Jon Stewart comes in, miming like he's going to hit Seth Rollins, but we all know what's going to happen. Jon Stewart turns heel, hits John Cena with a chair in the stomach, and Seth Rollins pins him 1, 2, 3 after hitting the pedigree. And Seth Rollins is now your WWE World Heavyweight Champion and United States Champion. He would hold on to the United States Championship basically for 4 weeks, lose it back to John Cena, Night of Champions, and then would launch into, he would have his feud with Sting as well going into that night. And this would lead to this match would lead to Sting's last match in WWE. Yeah. Anywho. We then get the worst match on this card, as it's called. Team PCB, Becky Lynch, Paige, and Charlotte versus Team Bad, Naomi, Sasha Banks, Tamina, versus Team Bella, Alicia Fox, Brie Bella, Nikki Bella. I want to point out of all the names I mentioned, only 3 are still with the company of Becky Lynch, Charlotte Flair, and Tamina. We haven't seen Tamina in a while. But this was a 3-team elimination match. First, I believe the Bellas will be eliminated. Then Team BAD. And you would have Team PCB pick up the win. The less said about this match, the better. No one was able to really have a great match here. I don't know why. It just sucked. The chemistry just didn't work. We would get a callback to this match actually at WrestleMania 36 when you would have Sasha Banks, Tamina, and Naomi in the ring all at the same time. They would do the Team Bad symbol and would then go on to fight each other and eliminate Tamina and eliminate Naomi, then Sasha Banks, and Bayley would retain her championship. Just want to point that out. Whew. Almost done. We then get... Oh, it was Team BAD, then Team Bella. My mistake. We then get Kevin Owens versus Cesaro in a singles match. One of the surprising great matches of this card. These two clicked automatically. Great match. So, awesome job by them. Kevin Owens would pick up the win with a pop-up powerbomb. I feel like this match doesn't get talked about enough. It is a forgotten great SummerSlam match. And then we get your main event. It started at WrestleMania 30. 3 F5s. 3 tombstones. The F5 ends the streak. 21-1. This was an awesome match. You would have The Undertaker and Brock Lesnar hitting each other with everything they got and then some. And then you would have find them both sit up. Brock Lesnar laughs at The Undertaker. The Undertaker fakes his laugh back and starts punching Brock Lesnar. Brock Lesnar punches The Undertaker. One punch after punch. Brock Lesnar locks into Kimura. And what happens? The bell rings. It looks like Undertaker tapped. But Charles Robinson didn't call for the bell. Charles Robinson is arguing with the timekeeper. Undertaker hits a low blow. Locks in the Hell's Gate submission. Brock flips off The Undertaker. Adamant as ever, he is not going to tap out. Passes out to The Undertaker. Undertaker wins by TKO. It's a great match. It's one that I love as a main event of SummerSlam. I wish there wasn't the low blow. Undertaker didn't need to go low. Undertaker would start off their feud again by going low at Battleground, where it cost Brock Lesnar WWE Championship. He did need to go low in this match. Just my opinion. Just my opinion. If I were to grade the show, I would grade it with a B, B-. Good show. Fun show. The bad matches knock it down, while the good matches keep it very high and above. Just want to point that out. The main event is awesome, but the ending drags it down for me. Whew. I could use a drink. So let's go, your WWE Drink of the Week. Cherry beer Garita pitcher. Oh, this one's going to be fun. So this is a very simple drink. 12 ounces of tequila, 12 ounces of light beer, 12 ounces cherry soda, 12 ounces limeade concentrate, and some ice. Basically, add everything to your drink. Limeade first, then tequila. Stir well until defrosted. Add the beer and the cherry soda. Drop some lime slices in. Stir well, pour, and serve. It is not a drink just for people. This is a party drink. Show it at your Summerslam party. This could be a good one for that. But please drink responsibly. Do not drink and drive. Do not drink if you are under 21 in the United States. And do not overconsume on alcohol. And now reading from the Book of Rules. A lumberjack match. Great way to bond with the locker room and or take out frustrations on other superstars. A reading from the Book of Rules. And now, everybody, it is time for the Battle Droid of the Week. I've alluded to it all night. The Battle Droid of the Week this week is PW Insider. Now, I know people have had messed up reports before. People have sometimes gone to the wrong sources, and those sources end up being wrong or plants. But 4 in a row on very high probability stories, they're the ones who also reported that Bray Wyatt might be out for more time. So I don't know what's going on. This is the first time I've looked at all my wrestling news sources and been like, I don't know what to talk about on the podcast because I don't know if it's true or not. So because of that, PW Insider, you are the Battle Droid of the Week. Congratulations.
Uh-oh.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for listening. I have been the Big Guy. This has been Wrestling Made Simple. We come to you next week with more SummerSlam reviews as we keep on the road to SummerSlam in Detroit. Thank you very much for listening. Have a great week in wrestling.